Hello, everyone, and happy Halloween. This is a very special episode of Thinking Caps On because we're going to tell a very interesting story. But unlike other videos, we're going to have a little bit more fun with some of the storytelling technique. So strap in and let's get started. So, 10th episode of Thinking Caps On. I did not think that I would get to have quite so much fun making these videos, and I really hope that you all have been enjoying them. Today's story, we're going to jump out of the Old Testament, or Hebrew scriptures, if you insist on calling them that, and we're going to jump forward into the New Testament, or Greek scriptures. At any rate, we're going to tell an interesting story. And this story is going to be all about Jesus and Satan. And before I get started, remember, these videos are meant to be fun. I am not trying to insult anyone's Christian beliefs, but this video and this story were just too good to pass up. So, once upon a time in a country far, far away, Jesus Christ comes and gets baptized because reasons. And then after he gets baptized by John the Baptist, no, not a Southern Baptist, not that kind of Baptist, Jesus heads off into the wilderness to pray for 40 days. I don't know what you can possibly pray about constantly for 40 days, but this is the biblical narrative. Off alone in the wilderness for 40 days. Now, the Bible doesn't say what he ate or drank or slept in or anything, but after 40 days, you can only imagine that Jesus is feeling hungry, tired, thirsty, and maybe, just maybe, if he's been praying out loud, then man, he's probably got no voice after doing it for 40 days and nights. At any rate, the biblical account tells us that this is the point where Satan the devil approaches Jesus and decides to try and tempt him or play some tricks on him. The first temptation that goes before Jesus, Satan comes up to him and says,
"Hey, Jesus, I've got a little proposition for you. Man, you must be starving. 40 days doing nothing but praying. Tell you what, why don't you turn some of these stones into loaves of bread? Chow down. You must be hungry, right?"
No, man. I ain't got the munchies like that. I got other food that I want to eat besides. It's written in the good book, brother. Man must not live on bread alone, but upon everything coming forth from God's mouth. You dig?
But what about manna then? No? Huh. Alright, I've got another idea. Why don't you come with me and I'll show you something. Now, take a look. You like this view on the temple wall? Why don't you just throw yourself off? Because isn't it written about you that since you're the Son of God, the angels on the back of your car, the angels on your back will save you and keep you from ever breaking a bone? Go ahead, give it a try.
I'm not gonna throw myself off a building. It's like the good book says. You must not put Jehovah your God to the test.
Yeah, that's right. I wrote that. Or I had somebody write it.
Hey, nobody asked you into this. Alright, Jesus. I've got another one for you then. Come with me, I'll show you something. You see all of these kingdoms of the world? I will give each and every one of them to you. All you gotta do is just fall down and give me one act of worship.
Meanwhile, Jesus, after all of this, he's starting to get annoyed and he finally says,
Man, go away, Satan.
How'd you know it was me?
Dude, the voice gives you away every time. And what just happened there anyway? Your voice got really high. Kind of high like me, you know? But anyway, listen. The good book's written. It says you must not worship anybody else. Now go away. Got some stuff I need to do, bruh.
But I'm telling you right now, we are not done. I'll be back.
let's just stop and think about the temptations for a moment. So the first one, he's like, turn these stones into bread and chow down. What kind of a temptation is that anyway? And honestly, where Jesus like, you must not live on bread alone? Well, I mean, didn't the Israelites live on nothing but manna for 40 years? So what gives? Like, why is that even a thing? I mean, look, if it was good enough for Jehovah to feed them nothing but manna and get really pissy with them when they asked for meat, I think some stones turning into some bread is not a big deal. At any rate, the second temptation, throw yourself off of this building and see if the angels come and save you. Really? Come on, Satan. You can do better than that. Like, seriously, come on. Like, what kind of a temptation is that? I tempt you to go and throw yourself off of this building. That's not tempting. Like, really, really not tempting. Sorry, like, you have to do way better. And then the last one, like, I'll give you rulership over all the kingdoms of the earth if you just fall down and do one act of worship for me. Man, Satan, you're really bought cheap, aren't you? One act of worship. That's all it would have to be. And they're like, oh, here, have all the kingdoms of the world.
Listen, Mr. XJW Silent No More. If you keep making fun of me, I'll have some words for you, too.
Whoa, okay, time out, Satan. Let's talk here. Just little joke, just tell a little story, have a little fun, like buddies. Dude, you gotta raise your prices just a little bit. Is it really much of a temptation? I don't know. Temptation, trial, test, you name it. The whole story just seems rather bonkers to me. And again, remembering that this is written by some very strung out men, maybe somebody was really hungry when they wrote this story. Maybe, just maybe, somebody was a megalomaniac and wanted to have all the kingdoms of the world. And they're like, man, I'd be so tempted by that. I should write a story about it. Either way, this story, honestly, it contradicts some things that are written in earlier parts of the Bible, especially the part about not living on bread alone. It seems crazy to me. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have an awesome Halloween, whatever you're doing. And as always, keep the thinking caps on. And when you think about this story, just ask yourself, are all the kingdoms of the world that inexpensive and cheap? Is the devil bought really cheap? Things to make you go, Happy Halloween. Catch you next time.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell so that you are notified when I make my further appearances.